Buckeyes and Beyond. Here are your hosts, Jeff and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Buckeyes and Beyond. I'm Jeff and this is Mike.
What's up, everybody?
So we are just one day late on the podcast. Mike was out of town for a coaching conference, I guess you'd call it, for football.
Yep.
He had a couple interesting tidbits about that.
Yeah. So I can just share real quick one. So one of the speakers was the new head coach at Florida State, Mike Norvell, who was previously at Memphis for the last 3 years. He was a real intense speaker, man. I sent you this text the other night while he was speaking, and I'll just sort of share it here just because it kind of sums it up. Listening to him speak, you can see why Memphis was so good for the past 3 years and why I think Clemson is in trouble as the king of the ACC, because I think he is really going to take Florida State, as much as it pains me, and turn them back into a pretty good powerhouse team. So he was really impressive to actually listen to. There's any, huh?
You said he also had.
Okay. So this was great. So all of the coaches bring some sort of a lackey who comes in and sets up their laptop with their presentation on it. So they have like slides and videos and stuff that they bring, and so his was working fine until about halfway through his presentation, and then all of a sudden it starts to freeze and kind of lock up, and he keeps on fooling with it, trying to actually restart it and get it back to where it was, and every time that he tries, it just keeps on locking up. So
was it like locking up and like when the slides are like transitioning?
So he had a part where it was actually transitioning from just regular slides to video footage of their practice drills and stuff.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, but it would like lock up as soon as it got to that part, and he couldn't get it to start, and he was trying at least 4 or 5 times, and he was actually really good, because while he was trying to actually get it up and get it rebooted, you could tell he was sort of thrown off his game because he's so used to having this whole thing going. So he's trying to play it by ear, kind of, he was just trying to roll with it as best he could, and it just wasn't working. So he does say what I guess was supposed to be jokingly, but you could tell by the look on his face he wasn't joking. He said, "Man, when I get back to Tallahassee, somebody's in trouble." And every time he would try to restart it, he had this intense, pissed off look on his face, just and he couldn't get it to work. And so by the time that he was done, man, you could tell this dude is intense, and he is a big perfectionist, and he expects his team to be perfect in all aspects. And so if the kids at Florida State follow his program, they could be a pretty good football team as soon as he gets his own kids there.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder what the videos were like, as far as like how you had them embedded. Did they look like they were probably manually inserted?
I don't know.
Like
I couldn't tell because we just couldn't see.
The preview never even showed up.
So it was just like one little still of like a video screen with like a play button in the middle, but he couldn't get it to play. It would just like lock up.
Didn't look like it was like a YouTube.
No.
Yeah,
No.
It was like embedded, like an MP4 video.
Yeah. So
it's the IT guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's fine.
like I'm troubleshooting.
Yeah.
What could have went wrong?
Yeah. No, so but yeah, he couldn't get him to work, and I will tell you this: whoever prepped that for him, I felt sorry for whenever he got back there, because I feel like he was going to rip them a new ass, man. Because he looked really pissed off that it just was not working.
Who else was there?
So we had Dave Clawson, who was the head coach at Wake Forest. He was probably as average of a speaker as you could get. He wasn't awful, but it wasn't just like blowing you out of the water. He was very stoic, very, just this is it, and it feels like I do this once a month for the next 2 months because I go to all these conventions and this is how I'm going to talk, and didn't really take any kind of questions. was kind of standoffish at times. So he was there. Doc Holliday, the head coach at Marshall. He was good.
Yeah, he seems kind of interesting.
Yeah, he spoke about special teams, which was kind of interesting because you don't see a whole lot of coaches speak that much on it. So his thoughts on it were actually pretty fascinating because you don't really us here, we know a little bit more about special teams because Urban was such a huge...
And Tressel.
Yeah, and Tress. But you didn't get the standard, the punt is the most, important play. It was more about alignments and with some of the changes that they've made to, the kickoff rules and stuff and where you can best put your guys to sort of break through, some of these things. And it was pretty neat. And he took some questions and he and Norvell both did something that most coaches at these things don't do, is they stuck around and actually shook hands, talked to you. Most of the coaches, like for instance, last year, Saban was in and out as soon as he was done, he had his shit all packed up and was walking out the door. So was Ferentz and D'Antonio last year, but so this year it was just kind of cool to see those guys stop and say hi. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry, I have a cough. That probably sounded really strange, but no, it was just kind of nice to actually see those guys stop and actually say hi and actually shake your hands. I stopped and
shook his hand.
Yeah, I shook Norvell's hand and actually spoke to him for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I told him that I thought Clemson was in real trouble, and he just sort of had this aw shucks look and just, well, I don't know, they're kind of still the king, and just so he was being very modest, but no, it was really fun. And then if there's any Bowling Green fans out there, I'm sorry for the bad news, but your coach should probably fire his whatever he calls his,
secretary.
Yeah, his somebody, because we were told that Scott Leffler didn't show up because he forgot that it was this weekend. So,
Scott Leffler, was he a former?
I don't know much about his background. It sounded like he might have been.
I'm trying to think. His name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, he's the head coach at Bowling Green right now. I can't remember where he would have came from.
He's only 45.
Yeah.
He's like kind of in that wheelhouse of wait. Oh yeah. He played quarterback from Michigan.
That's
from 93 to 96.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
But
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. He was on Lloyd Carr's staff.
Okay.
Well, graduate assistant.
Okay.
But then he was a part of the staff during the 97 national title season for them. And quarterbacks coach at Central Michigan. He was part of the Detroit Lions offensive staff.
That's where I know him from. Then
maybe
more.
That's how I know him.
Yeah,
but he was on. I'm sure I heard that name.
Yeah,
even if he was backup quarterback, he wasn't. I don't think he was. He might have got some starts. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I think I know his name more from when he was with the Lions.
Yeah,
but he didn't show up because we were told that he forgot that it was this past weekend that he was supposed to be there. So
he was. Let's see, 2012. Let's see, Gene Chizik hired him to be the OC at Auburn.
Oh, okay.
He was OC at Auburn for, I guess, just one season though. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that name sounded like more familiar than I was like.
You mentioned Auburn, and I do want to tell a real quick story that Mike Norvell told, which was really a great story. He had the point of this story was to never miss a opportunity to go up and shake someone's hand and say hi, because you never know where it's going to lead. When he was in college at Central Arkansas, he was a wide receiver on that team, and he said the first couple weeks of spring practice there was just this one guy who would just come sit in the north end zone and just watch practice, and nobody would ever speak to him. He just would sit there for days and days. He decided one day he was just going to go up and shake his hand and say hi. He did. The guy was a former was a former player at Central Arkansas and was a head coach at one of the local high schools. And so the guy said, "Hey, man, thank you." He really liked the fact that that somebody came up and said hi to him, and so from that point on, he kept coming back to practices, and every day he would go up and say hi to him, but nobody else would, and they became friendly. So once Norvell was done playing, and he was trying to find some work, he said that this guy who he had spoken to was friends with some other coaches, and he said one day Gus Malzahn called this coach and said, "Hey, I'm looking for some young coaches. Do you know anybody that would be a good GA?" And he said Mike Norvell, and Mike Norvell got a job as a GA at Auburn under Gus Malzahn.
Oh, okay.
Only because he took the time to go up and shake this guy's hand. So it was actually a pretty cool story, and he actually told it a lot.
Yeah.
He told it way better than that, but that was the gist of the story, which I thought was pretty cool.
Huh. So it must have been. Yeah, it must have been.
I don't remember what year he said it was, but
yeah,
probably wasn't that long ago.
So it must have been. Was Malzahn it?
No, I'm sorry. It wasn't at Auburn. He was at Central then, or he was somewhere else. I don't remember where it was.
Was it Tulsa?
It could have been
Tulsa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's actually where it was.
I just looked up his resume.
Yeah, Gus Malzahn was at Tulsa then. And,
Okay.
And he wanted a new young coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually a really cool story. So that's the gist of my trip to the coaching conference in Pittsburgh. A lot of good high school coaches there too. So it was fun.
Did you have any good sandwiches with French fries on?
Oh God, man, that place. So Prometi Brothers you had sent me a text while I was on my way there to maybe give them a try, but to not expect too much. And they really build that joint up as the end-all, be-all of sandwiches, man.
There's so many locations. Did you ever look at it on the map, see how many locations there
Yeah, I seen a bunch of them. Now, we were actually really lucky because there was one literally right across the street from where we were staying. So all we had to do was just so we literally walked, to it. But, and so the sandwiches they are overwhelming, of course, whenever you get it.
They're friggin' at least 6 inches high, right?
Yeah, and so in fact, I have a picture of one that I took that we can post up on the Twitter on the Twitter account. It is an overwhelming sandwich, but like I told you, it's great, or it's good, but it's not great. It's an okay sandwich. I don't understand what all the fuss is about their sandwiches. And to be honest, the French fries being on it is not that great of a bonus. I mean, it's sort of, the fries get a little bit mushy and they mix with the meat, and it sort of gives it this strange, odd flavor it sort of kills the flavor of the meat.
Yeah, I always think they could just do without the fries on there. It's just it's just one step too many. The fries are good by themselves.
Well, they're
kind of like fair fries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought so. But if I remembered correctly, I think that's what they kind of seem like.
Yeah, I didn't really I didn't get a chance to really taste the fries because I was just tasting them with the meat. And the coleslaw was like really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they put coleslaw in the fries.
They put it's the meat and the cheese plus coleslaw, French fries, and 2 tomatoes on top. Which that seems a little odd to me because that's the one thing that really doesn't mesh well with all that stuff.
It's like a Raising Cane's, put the fingers, the fries, the coleslaw between 2 the garlic breads.
Yeah.
I don't want everything. Like, would you like your sides on your sandwich? I do like a coleslaw, like the you ever go to City Barbecue and get the the pork slaw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
What's it called? The Carolina?
Carolina
something.
The Carolina, I don't remember what it's called, but it's just something like that.
The slaw with the pulled pork.
That's really good. Plus, they don't put like so much to where it just like kills the whole sandwich.
It just makes everything a bit of mush.
Yeah, which is sort of what they do on those, which is why it's so frustrating because it looks really good, and then you eat it, and it's like I can't really taste the meat, and it's just this mushy stuff. It's
I forget where we were like, I forget where that was now. Where it was like if they don't do if you're gonna like load up a sandwich or a burger, it's like give me a bun that's worth a damn.
Yeah, so the bread that they use is it's this really limp type of bread. It doesn't stand up very well.
It's done.
Yeah, it's not sturdy. So.
It's like if you're gonna give me a limp, like weak, thin ass piece of bread, you better toast it.
Yeah, it's not even toasted. It's just which is actually I thought that it was going to be grilled at at the very least, but. No, it's just
like a panini.
No, it's just regular bread, and it just falls apart. It becomes awful. So essentially, what I actually wound up doing is after about 3 bites, I said, "This is just gross." So, well, not gross. That's probably the wrong word to use, but it's just didn't taste right. So I took off the bread and the fries and just like ate the meat and the cheese.
Have a fork.
Yeah, which is actually I actually did that.
You just put this in a bowl. Just put it on the floor. If you've never seen on YouTube, there's a clip of Patton Oswalt talking about the KFC bowl.
No, I haven't seen it, man.
The KFC famous bowl.
Yeah, I know it's
that's a great clip where he talks about the KFC famous bowl where they're just like they just throw everything in a bowl. It's like don't we have any? It's like we can't put these out. We can't be bothered to put these out on the plate anymore. we're just so lazy and like fat. We just put it in a bowl and like we're dogs. It's a great clip. Patton Oswalt KFC famous bowl.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah. So let's go to basketball. Buckeyes had 2 games this week. The first one was just had a disappointing start, and the second one was complete like amazing team effort.
Yeah.
The best they've looked all year.
Absolutely.
Of course, the first one was on the road, and the second one was at home, which is kind of just
that's been their whole MO.
Which has been a lot of teams' MO, especially in the Big Ten, with great at home, and you're like, I don't know, timid and asleep, or fill in the blank with what negative attribute of a basketball team that you don't want to see on the road. They came off with like on against Iowa at Iowa. They were down 20 within.
What was it like 10 minutes or
less than that?
Yeah, what was it less than that? Jeez.
Yeah, let me find that.
Because that was
the first.
Because I didn't watch that one because that one was on Thursday night, right?
That was on Tuesday night.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Or wait.
No, it was on Thursday night because it was on as we were getting into.
Okay, regardless.
Yeah, it was on Thursday because that's when we were getting into.
Yeah, it was 27-8. Oh yeah, you're right. Just over 10 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 27-8. And I mean, Caleb Wesson looked disinterested, and I mean they were just, they were kind of just doing whatever they wanted.
They were sleepwalking through it, man.
Then, by halftime they got it to 46-35, and you're like, all right, could be worse, but it's kind of like that bad start just put them in a hole, and they were fighting to come back, and they did a great job fighting to come back. I mean, they won after that. If you the last 30 minutes they outscored them. Let's see, if it matters, spilled milk.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
Yeah,
it's like if you. It's always a great. I've always heard there's been coaches. I always heard Dave Wannstedt in football was a coach that would go. He talked to the media after. Yeah. Dave Wannstedt. Hey, you take away those 3 interceptions and that fumble. We're in this game.
We're right in it, man. Come on, man. Cut us some slack.
Like, wait.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we could take away those 3 interceptions and that fumble, but unfortunately, you can't do that. Those are part of the game.
If you take away all those points they scored, we're on this thing. It's a whole other ball game, folks. So, they they scored. They won the last 30 minutes of the game, but unfortunately they still lost by 9 at the very end when the final horn sounded.
Yeah, so. it just goes to actually show you. I mean, you just, especially on the road in a conference like ours, you cannot sleepwalk through the first 5 minutes of a game. You're going to absolutely kill yourself. You can't do it.
Yeah, they came out. It was like first. He had 3 points in the first 5 minutes.
That's unacceptable. That is so sad.
In the first 6 minutes, actually.
Good Lord. God.
He had 1 bucket. 1 bucket.
Yeah, it's Dr. Jekyll, man, and Mr. Hyde is this team, man. They can never get together and with the exception of Sunday, they can never get together and just play a full game.
So on Sunday, we'll talk more about the good stuff, was... the home win against Maryland. Maryland was number 7 in the country. Ohio State was 25. And, this was a completely different game where they were doing a lot of the things that we were talking about last podcast, where we were talking about how they need to attack the rim more and set up better shots and not just try to shoot over the defense constantly.
Right.
Get to the rim, drive, kick it. Draw the defense in, pass it, move the ball. And whether you're attacking the rim and kicking it or attack the rim and finish at the rim.
And I think one of the other things that we've been speaking about for the last couple is we finally saw C.J. Walker become a real point guard.
Right.
First of all, I think he actually opened the game with 2 threes. Mm-hmm. So, but... that really doesn't matter. He was actually, driving to the hole aggressively and either finishing or, like you just said, dishing it out. And he played a real, true point guard role for the first time in probably months. Mm-hmm. So that was really nice to see.
Yeah, him and Dwayne Washington kind of split that role pretty well. Dwayne Washington played really well. He didn't shoot particularly well. 3 of 8. And 0 for 3 from 3, but
he had a couple nice drives right to the hole.
And he went to the line. He got to the line. 7 of 8 from the line. He capitalized at the line. So did Luther Muhammad. Luther Muhammad was awesome. He was good on both ends. A lot of guys were good on both ends. Caleb Wetson was actually good on the defensive end.
Yeah,
he actually he had 9 rebounds. I don't know if that's his.
That might be no.
Most in a while. It's not season high.
No, but that
seems like I haven't seen him have 9 rebounds in a while.
No, it hasn't been. You talked about Luther Muhammad. He's actually one of my favorite players on this team. Mm-hmm. He's really underrated, I think. Now, that's sort of... He's not underrated, I guess, is the wrong word to use, but...
He's under... I guess he is the most upside.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, because he plays tenacious defense. If you watch him, he is all over the floor. He doesn't really stop moving. He's constantly moving his hands, constantly moving his feet, finding the ball. And this game, he went to the hole, which we hadn't seen him or really. And that's really the key to this whole game was everybody was going to the hole. But Luther Muhammad hit open threes. He didn't take forced threes, but when he was open, he hit them. I think he was, 3 of 5 or something, or 3 of 6 from...
4 of 8.
4 of 8, okay, so he was shooting them well. He was going to the hole, playing strong D. I think he had the best game, maybe not statistically, but he played the best out of everybody on that game.
5 of 11 from the field, 35 minutes, 8 of 8 from the line.
Yeah.
22 points, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the total.
Okay,
point
so
leader.
yeah.
22 points, 5 rebounds,
Yeah.
2 assists, a steal.
Yeah.
Only 1 turnover. They only turned the ball over 10 times.
That's
As
outstanding.
a team. Maryland did as well, but Maryland's known to not turn the ball over.
Right.
So you got to match them. You can't be sloppy. That's how they got beat last time against Maryland. Maryland just killed them on turnovers.
Yeah.
And actually had more steals than they got in some passing lanes nicely too.
Yeah,
Played
there
some
was
good
one play.
help defense.
Dwayne Washington had a really good steal. It was later in the second half when Maryland was trying to really force a strong comeback. I think they had forced it back down to like 4 or 5 points. And I think it was Cowan right before he had fouled out through what he thought was going to be a great bullet pass to the it was
A cutter?
it was like
I remember
somebody
that.
cutting, but Washington just reached out and snagged it right out of midair.
It was like right in the middle of the paint.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was right
like his
there.
man was like coming across the paint, but he saw that coming. It was like a corner and coming off his man to intercept the ball.
Right, yeah.
On a route behind him.
Yeah, it was a really nice play. I mean, so it was just a great effort all around. Best game that they played as a team in months.
Yeah,
So,
and, you know, it's not like Maryland didn't seem like. I mean, it wasn't like they had some like weirdly awful game.
no, I mean they played well. Now
You could maybe argue with their Cowan.
did actually get into
game.
foul trouble too,
Yeah,
so
it's
I
not-
mean he didn't get a chance to really play.
I mean, he's 16 a game and he scored 10.
Yeah.
So I mean, he is slightly off game, but still, I mean, that's a top team. I mean, Maryland might end up
They might end up like
8. You know,
Yeah,
you
they.
know,
I mean, in fact, they could wind up a 1 seed in
if they
the
finish
tournament.
strong.
Yeah. I mean, if they finish out strong and they win the Big Ten tournament, they could definitely be a 1 seed.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. The new rankings came out today, so that's one good thing about having a podcast on a Monday.
Yeah,
You get
there you
to
go.
talk about what's changed. Kansas beat Baylor this weekend, so now Kansas at Baylor.
Yeah.
So Kansas is the new number 1, getting 62 of the 64 AP votes.
That was a great game. I don't know if you had a chance to
I
actually
got
watch it.
some of that.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and Gonzaga. Oh well, Baylor's 2.
Yeah.
So it was a real close game.
Yeah, it was.
So Baylor's 2. They dropped from 1 to 2.
Big deal.
Gonzaga 3. Dayton 4. Dayton's still on the surge. It's crazy to see the Flyers at number 4.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice. I mean, as you know, being from the same state, it is nice just to kind of see them up there. So
Who's the Dayton's coach?
I have no idea who their coach is.
Well, it used to be Miller, right?
Archie Miller, yeah.
And then
It was, but I don't think he's there now.
who's their coach? Who's the coach?
Archie Miller moved on to Xavier, I think, is where, unless he's actually gone from there now. But
Yeah. Well, Archie was at Indiana, right?
oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
He went
yeah.
from Dayton to Indiana.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought that he went to Xavier.
Yeah, who is? Oh my gosh, why is this so hard to find? But anyway, I'm expecting it to be like another Miller brother.
Yeah, it could
No.
very well be.
Anthony Grant.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know his backstory. He's an older guy. He's
Okay.
he's 50. Is he 53? Yeah, 54.
Okay.
Almost 54. No, he's not older. I guess that's not that old.
Well, no, I mean, not in the coaching.
I saw a birthday year in the 60s. I expected. But Anthony Grant.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, Dayton's star player is Obi Toppin. If you haven't heard that name, he's got. I mean, he's like he's like 20 a game, 63% field goal percentage.
That's really
Yeah,
impressive.
and he's athletic too. I think
is he a big man or is he? Because I haven't seen him
He's
play
kind
yet.
of a swing man.
Is he?
Obi
Okay.
Toppin. Yeah, let me see. So Obi Toppin, 6'9". So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
He can probably do a
yeah,
little bit of both.
yeah. He's sophomore out of Brooklyn, New York.
Wow.
And
He must not have been very heavily recruited then.
yeah, and to go to Dayton, yeah, diamond in the rough there.
Yeah.
He, I think he set a record or something for dunks
Really?
Dunks in a game, I think.
That's crazy. I didn't know that they even kept track of it.
He's up for the Wooden Award.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he is for
dunk record.
Those numbers.
Yeah, he broke his own school record for dunks in a season. Oh, okay.
Okay.
He dunked 6 times last game. He's got 89 dunks this season.
I didn't even know that they actually kept that stat.
But yeah, I think they've been
crazy.
Keeping that for a while. So, yeah, the big team that jumped a lot. Let's see. There's a couple of them. Creighton jumped 5 spots, 15 to 10.
Wow.
And Maryland's at 9. Creighton at 10. And then Seton Hall jumped 3 spots. BYU jumped 6 spots to 17.
Because they beat San Diego State, right?
BYU, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they beat San Diego State.
Penn State dropped 7 spots.
That was a tough loss that they took to Indiana, who was unranked at the time. I think that they lost it to them. So
yeah, they lost 2 in a row. They lost Illinois.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they lost
Illinois is at home.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, it's kind of tough. You're probably going to drop that much if you lose 2 in a week.
Yeah,
teams that you should have beat. Let's see, Illinois ranked.
They might have jumped in. No,
not yet. No, they're just out of it. Just barely out.
Yeah.
And Michigan jumped back up 7 spots.
Wow.
They're now 19. So Michigan had a couple good. They had a couple so-so weeks, a bad week, another and a good week. So they're coming back up. Kind of like Ohio State. Actually, past couple weeks, Michigan's played well. They've got 5 in a row. And actually, let's see. 7 of the last 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So their only loss, the last loss was Ohio State. So and they had a stretch there. They lost 4 in a row. So
yeah,
Michigan on their way back. So,
Juwan Howard is having a very up and down rookie season, which is sort of what you would which is sort of falls in line for what you would expect.
Yeah, they're ranked higher than Ohio State with the same record, although I think Michigan's one game better in conference.
That's a little strange because Ohio State has much better out of conference wins than Michigan does, but I don't know if they really take that into account when they're doing the polls. But
they get them again this weekend at home.
Yeah.
So is that this weekend?
I don't know if it's this weekend.
It's
is it?
Sunday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So we got Nebraska at Nebraska. They should win.
Yeah, they should win that one.
We better not lose on the road. I mean, I don't care if it's on the road in Nebraska.
No, they are awful. So
yeah, so that's Thursday, and then Michigan's Sunday.
What time on Sunday?
4.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yep. So that's the week for Buckeye basketball. No new. We know DJ Carton is back in school.
Yeah. But
no timeline if he's coming back. And
maybe we get him back for the tournament. Don't know. They just haven't really said yet.
Yeah. He may not know. I think he must have came back, hopped on the bus or whatever, plane or whatever they did when he went to Iowa.
Yeah.
I think that's when they
probably that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because that's where he's from. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really. I don't know if it's really best right now for him to kind of rush back. I mean, if he had to take his time off for whatever reasons were, I mean, you don't really want to rush that back. So you want to make sure that we actually have him, when he is at his best. So
yeah. The standings are kind of like. So we're Ohio State's 18-9, 8-8 in the conference, and. See, they got 2. Let's see, they could end up. I mean, it's possible. I mean, they could end up being like tied for 3rd.
Yeah,
if they
would have to win
this
out
week.
Yeah.
Well, after this week, I'm saying like they could end up.
Swing.
They could end up being like somehow tied because right now there's a 4-way tie in the conference for 2nd.
Yeah.
10-6. Maryland's 12-4 in 1st, and then you got Penn State, Iowa, Michigan State, Wisconsin, all 10-6. Illinois, Michigan, Rutgers, Indiana, and us. All like within a game or 2, So Michigan 9-7. So if we can beat Michigan and Nebraska and Michigan, be 10-8 in the conference, then we can that would be 2 wins.
Yeah.
Would be 20-9. So it'd be nice to get 20 wins this week.
It would.
So yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen a year where the conference has been this I mean, just absolutely competitive, I guess you could call it. But, I mean, it's been, I haven't seen this in a long time.
It's pretty crazy how for a while, like Joe Lenardi, the bracketology guy, he thought that the Big Ten could get 12 teams in, but Purdue's kind of dropped off, and so is Minnesota. So I don't know. I mean, they're like 13 and 13 and 14 and 14
and we lost to Minnesota twice. That's so
yeah, it's weird. So so looking like 10 being the 10th team being, it could be at the bottom of the Big Ten of how many teams as far as the group that gets in the tournament.
Yeah,
could be us, Indiana, Rutgers, Michigan, Illinois, as far as that bottom. But
there's still going to be a lot of between now and then there's going to be a lot of a jostling that is going to take place from all those teams as far as like who is going to how far up in the conference are they going to move. So there's still a lot of basketball left.
Yeah, the Sunday's game, it almost felt like a must-win.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
because they needed another quality win because they hadn't beaten a ranked team since December.
Yeah, that was the last time. It's been a long time.
It was a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that was definitely a must-win because not to say that loss would have actually put them out of the tournament, but that loss would have actually they would have had a much lower seed and would have had a much harder matchup. I mean.
And you got to win those home games.
Yeah, I mean
the way it's been going this year, it's like those home games are like gold.
Yeah,
I mean you got to take advantage of them.
You have to. It's especially the way that the whole conference is actually set up. There's just you can't lose any home games.
Yeah, I mean I think what's their full standings? Ohio State. I mean I think they've only lost
they've lost 2 at home. I think.
3. West Virginia, 3. Wisconsin.
But the West Virginia game was counted as a home game, but they played that one up in Cleveland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, they counted that one as a home game, but I don't think it, no.
Not really.
No.
It's like a tournament game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they only lost 2 at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota came.
Yeah, so they're 3-6 on the road. And as far as like those home versus road records, those road records are all they're all kind of the same, if not worse now.
Yeah.
Because they're like the best team in the Big Ten road record is 5-4.
That's awful.
I mean, yeah. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So Rutgers finally lost a home game.
I seen that. Yeah, they finally lost to somebody. Who was it that they lost to? I can't remember. I seen it run across the screen whenever I was watching the Buckeye game.
Michigan.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
60-52.
Yeah.
Rutgers, the Thunderdome that is
Piscataway. Piscataway, New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what their arena's called.
I don't know.
But Piscataway. Alrighty, so we got a couple football notes. We'll talk about jersey number changes with Lave and Seven Banks.
Yep.
Chris Olave is now number 2, was 17.
Yeah.
And Seven Banks, the son of George Costanza,
is now number 7.
Yep.
So I guess Seven Banks' number back in high school was 7, but he couldn't have it here because somebody else had it. I did read the story about the number change.
Oh, it's Taraja Mitchell.
Yeah, it was. It was Mitchell who had number 7.
He's also defense.
Yeah, so he couldn't wear it, and I think they worked some sort of a deal out to where he could have number 7 because I think Mitchell's still there. So.
Yeah. Oh, I think Taraja Mitchell is changing numbers.
Yeah, so he's actually going to switch his from 7 to something else. I don't know what kind of deal they struck. I think they kind of kept that, private.
Sounds like the pros or something.
Yeah, I know. Where you have to pay some guy for his number. Yeah, no, I don't know what they did.
It says Taraja Mitchell says he doesn't know yet what number he's going to be. He hasn't decided. But yeah, he was 7. He's a guy that we hope can kind of crack the linebacker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Linebacker rotation, I guess.
Yeah.
And dog's doing something on the side.
Got distracted.
A hard sniff. What are you sniffing over there?
He's found something that he likes.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
a German Shepherd with supersonic smell and hearing. So yeah, spring game. We got another 2 months.
Yeah, April, mid-April, I think, or late April. I'm not sure.
So yeah, so we got I saw an article on 11 Warriors about guys who kind of been in the program, and we think it's kind of they've been around, and can they crack a starting lineup, get more starting this spring? Can they kind of make a turn the corner, and
Taraji,
Mm-hmm.
Taraji Mitchell is on that list, and I don't know who the actual list is because I haven't seen it yet. But I know
it's okay. That's a good one.
Yeah,
he's not on with.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's okay.
No.
There's a guy. There's guys that we're.
Yeah. So just off the top of my head, there are some guys like, for instance, Dallas Gant, who was a big time recruit coming out of high school. He's actually supposed to be a stud linebacker, but hasn't been able to crack it. Now, that could be because of Borland and
Warner.
Yeah, so
and
I don't know.
Harrison's Harrison's to the NFL.
Yeah, but so it could be because of Borland and Warner that he hasn't really been able to yet. So Dallas Gant should be. He has the size and speed to play outside, so he's one for sure.
Yeah, the guys they have on here for wide receiver, they have guys like Jalen Harris. They have, which I saw him on in the weight room.
Oh yeah,
the other day, and he was looking looking a lot bigger than
That's
when he came
in.
in.
Deep room though, man. It's going to be hard for him to really crack that. So
yeah, Jalen Harris, Elijah Gardner, and Jalen Gill.
Jalen Gill is a name that I know. So.
He's number 26, and they were they really haven't had a lot of time, maybe in cleanup. Between the three of them, they have 12 career catches.
Yeah, Jalen Gill had a couple late in games last year, so but yeah, it's just going to be such a hard room to crack the starting lineup, man, or to even crack any kind of real significant playing time.
Yeah. See, Jalen Harris. Jalen Harris is 6'5". He's a senior now.
How much does he weigh? Does it say?
It says 215, but he's been hitting the weight room.
Man.
Yeah.
That's still good size.
Yeah, he's hitting the weight room hard, and you can see there was something where or if it's easily found on his tweet, is he was fairly good size. I see a picture of him in 2017. He was fairly good size. Here he is. You can see he's getting pretty big. Turn this around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So. He may end up being 230.
He could be, yeah. He could wind up doing some really special things.
Yeah. So maybe senior, he can get a season together.
Yeah, it's possible that he could just absolutely impress in the spring and in the fall camp, and force somebody out of the what we thought was going to be a projected significant, contributor. So he could absolutely do that.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins retweeted his Ohio State football. They put out the picture of him in the weight room.
Oh, okay.
And Dwayne Haskins retweeted it and said, "Up next, J Harris 5 _ is Jalen Harris's Twitter feed."
Yeah, you always want to root for those kids to really get a spot, to get some sort of semi-significant playing time.
This is their last chance to.
Yeah.
If they want to continue playing pro.
It almost goes back to the really old school days where if you were a senior, that just automatically means that you have earned your spot and you're going to play. But nowadays, you've got kids who are 18 years old that are coming right in, starting games. So it's getting harder and harder for those kids that just keep on working hard, but maybe don't have some of the talent as some of the kids who are much younger than them. So
Elijah Gardner is he's number 87. He's 6'4" out of Texas. He's a junior.
Yeah, he was heavily recruited, but for whatever reason he hasn't been able to really crack in there yet. So.
Yeah, he was. Let's see.
I believe he was at least a 4-star kid.
I think so too. He was number 27. It was 100 and. Well, I guess this is 133rd ranked receiver in the country.
Then I was way off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but ESPN, that's weird. He was a top 100 player in Texas.
Okay.
So Texas is like
that's
talent.
football. That's a football factory.
If you're top 100 player in Texas, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. There's a lot of football in Texas. So.
Yeah. So and then Jalen Gill. Where did Jalen Gill go to school? Do you remember?
I don't know where Jalen Gill's from, to be honest.
Let's see. Jalen Gill was a 4-star out of high school. Oh, yeah. Westerville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's still got time to.
Yeah. But no better time than now.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah. I thought he was fairly new still.
Yeah, I hadn't heard much from him. So.
Yeah. So, but he's been in there. See, he was a redshirt freshman. So he had a redshirt year.
Okay, so then he's been in the program for a couple years then. So
yeah. So so those guys. And then we also have, and it's kind of like every time it seems like he gets some
publicity.
Yeah, it's like it takes a step back or something. But DeMario McCall.
Yeah,
5th-year senior now.
I just think
he's very slight build. It's kind of like a tweener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be rough for him to crack. I mean, but I guess between Teague and Crowley and Chambers, it's just I don't know, man, if he's going to be able to crack those guys and get any kind of significant playing time. I mean, I think they had him primarily as a kick returner last year, and I think that may be where he's probably going to be stuck. I just don't know if he's really going to be able to do much more. Now, he can actually catch the ball pretty well, so Teague hasn't shown that he can really catch the balls, consistently. Crowley and Chambers, we have no idea because we haven't really seen him throw him the ball, so he may be able to find himself a spot as like a 3rd down back, so.
Yeah, only Mario McCall, maybe if he could put on some weight.
He's really small.
Yeah, because he's 180. He's an inch taller than J.K. Dobbins, and Dobbins is almost 40 pounds heavier than him.
Good Lord.
It's such a vast difference in size.
I can't believe that they don't have him at least on some sort of a program to try and gain weight, or they have and he just hasn't really been able to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's 180 for a running back is man.
I mean, there's a guy. He's in the XFL now, and he was awesome in college. His career dwarfs McCall's.
Are you talking about the kid that plays for DC?
Yeah, Donnell Pumphrey.
Yeah, Pumphrey.
And he was with the Eagles for his rookie contract, maybe. Yeah. And but Donnell Pumphrey, he's also a guy who's super slight. Yeah. He's 170. 5'9", 170. It's almost like Travis Benjamin playing running back.
Travis,
or like Ice Cube McNeil.
Freeman McNeil. Holy
no, not Gerald.
Gerald, yeah,
the
Gerald.
Browns.
Yeah. I was thinking of Freeman McNeil, but yeah, it was Gerald. Yeah, Gerald Ice Cube.
McNeil, Ice Cube. Yeah, the Ice Cube.
Oh man,
slippery.
Yeah.
But Donnell Pumphrey, I mean, he is small. I mean, he's like 5'8", 5'9", 170. But yeah, for a second I was thinking, man, they had 2 running backs. I was thinking that I saw Donnell Pumphrey. I told a guy on Twitter, I was like, oh, Donnell Pumphrey's looking bigger. I was like, the wrong guy.
Yeah.
He does not look bigger.
No,
he does not at all. Like, he is like, dude, hit the weight room.
He needs
get to GNC. Something. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta
use a Thigh Master or something. Yeah, he's like super slight.
Yeah, it's so tough for guys that are that size to really, to really do much, because they're just, you take 2 or 3 really solid hits and you just start to run scared because you just don't have the frame to really take those hits and just keep on going. That's what made that's what made Dobbins so good, is he could take those hits and just bounce right back up and just run you over at the very next play. So
yeah.
it's tough to do.
Another guy that 11 Warriors has on here is he's a fifth-year senior. He's the only one fifth-year senior on the line this coming up this season is Gavin Cupp. He's his final chance to earn a starting spot. So he's a guard. So he's got to beat out Harry Miller and Matthew Jones. And
Harry Miller's going to be tough to beat out, period.
Yeah. He's already been passed up by Josh Myers and Wyatt Davis. So
Wyatt Davis was, there's really no shame in, being beat out by someone like him. But I mean, it's going to be tough to beat, Harry Miller. So
yeah, these guys, they go start going to camps, and not to mention just natural ability, but I mean, these kids, there's so many camps, and these kids start developing
at a very, very young age.
They start getting all this training so young.
Yeah,
start just focusing on like one sport.
Well, just to give you a quick example of that, I have kids who I coach. For those that don't know, I coach primarily 6th grade kids, and I've had a couple kids who were already on weight programs and diet programs and going to football camps and everything. I mean, I had a kid who literally had a 6-pack, and he was in 6th grade because he's on such a strict weight and diet plan and his parents had him working out every morning. I mean, it's sort of that borderline. It's like you gotta back off, man. I mean, ease off.
So much for your childhood.
Yeah, it's like your childhood's done because your dad couldn't make it, so he's gonna live all vicariously through you. He's gonna because that is what this was. I mean, this dad was just forcing his kid to just pump iron, and every practice he would come sucking down one of those giant power drinks and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's they start them out at a really young age now.
Yeah. The dog was chewing on the carpet.
Oh,
yeah, don't you start that?
Oh, jeez.
I'll have you out tied up to the shed real quick. Another guy they got on here is another senior. Like, I guess they highlighted some more of the older guys. Is a guy named Marcus Williamson, senior quarterback, corner. He's yet to ever crack the first team. So like that guy might have a better shot. I mean, a senior when corner is real tough for like true freshmen to come in and play. So but he's got Cam Brown, Seven Banks, but he's got to fight with them for playing time.
He's got to fight with a couple freshmen who are really highly touted, like Ryan Watts, who's the big kid from Texas, who's like 6'2" and weighs like 200 pounds.
And there was a kid that was this year, I think he was a freshman, Tyreek Johnson. Yeah, so I mean,
that is another deep room that you're going to have to really. But like I said, he does have a much better shot, I think, than some of the other guys that were actually on that list. So
yeah, Tyreek Johnson. Let's see, what number is he?
I don't remember what number he is off the top of my head.
He was 13.
Okay.
He's 6'1". Good size.
That's good size, yeah.
Yeah, so he's sophomore. Last year? Sophomore? Redshirted?
I don't remember when he was, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this year he must be 8 games. So this year's a sophomore, this season. 2020 season. And interesting. So, yeah, he was a top 50 player by all recruiting services. Tyreek Johnson. So, out of Florida. So, yeah, it's a competition that these guys go through.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a really interesting spring. I mean, there are some spots that are going to be up for grabs, and it'll be fun to watch and see how some of these guys really start to actually, see how they start to really compete, see who is going to pan out. Not to say that we're actually going to really know much, but I mean, we won't really know much until we get into fall camp. So,
Yeah. Spring game's so hard to gauge
because it's so scripted. I mean, it's absolutely scripted, and to be honest, I think, almost everybody knows exactly what is going to be happening during the game. It's so hard to really gauge who is really doing well and who's not. So
yeah, spring game will be on April 11th, and tickets are on sale.
They're usually cheap. What like $5 each or something.
Oh shoot!
That's usually what it is. It's like $5, and then you wind up spending more money just to park than what you do for the actual game ticket. So
yeah, I haven't even tickets. Saturday it starts at noon.
There's usually some sort of a
purchase online.
Yeah,
you get it through Ticketmaster. Unfortunately,
yeah,
probably have to pay $5 a ticket just in fees.
Yeah,
but
they usually have a lacrosse game first too, or at least they have been for the past few years.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch. So
yeah.
If you go there, then you can watch that too.
Yeah. So, are you planning on going?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
It's on a Saturday. You usually work Saturdays, right?
I can usually take Saturdays off though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So, I think we'll just want to end it on that. Yeah, we'll end it on that. So
there's not much going. There's much going on.
Yeah.
And speaking of really not much going on, we didn't get to our year in review, but that's only because that game there was nothing to it. So
the Miami game was
that was
76
to 5.
Yeah.
So there wasn't nothing to really talk about.
That, maybe.
Yeah, there wasn't nothing going on there for that game.
So what was the next game? Football.
It would have been the second game of the Big Ten Conference, because I think that was our last non-conference game.
It would be Nebraska.
Yeah.
So
there wasn't much to really that game either, but I mean at least
there was a lot of games that weren't much to them. Holy crap! So
we can dive into it a little bit next week.
Yeah. So all right, so we'll continue that next week. But so that's it. So follow us on Twitter at Beyond Buckeyes. We're getting a decent amount of followers. We just need. Hopefully someday people will listen to the podcast, maybe closer to football season.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll keep making this sound better and better each week. Well, I'm getting over a cold, and you're kind of like still in the midst of a cold.
Yeah, so
hopefully it didn't sound too bad this week.
Yeah, so we're probably going to sound a little bit off this week, but by next Sunday, we should both be absolutely fine. So hopefully, all fingers crossed.
Yeah. So at Beyond Buckeyes, give us a subscribe where you get podcasts, review it, do whatever, and
YouTube. We put up all the podcasts on YouTube. There's not much to it. It's just us and maybe at some point if we get enough, of a following, then maybe we'll try to do something with a camera. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. That's further down the road.
Decorate my dining room.
Yeah.
We do this in my dining room. So pass the word along. We try to, like we said before, we're trying to get, more people involved in it, share ideas and input for our episodes. We don't care. We're not looking to get rich off of this. We're not even making a dime off of this. No. We're just doing it for fun. Yeah. Something to do.
If you guys have any thoughts, suggestions, questions, shoot them out there, man. And if it's something negative, that's fine. I mean, we're all about, constructive criticism. Or if you just want to call us jerks, that's fine too. So
it's a laptop, 2 guys, and a $40 mic.
There's not much to it, man. So don't give us too much crap. Hey,
what do you want?
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want, if you guys want to hear a little bit better, quality, then make sure we get some more, subscribers.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah. Well, a GoFundMe for.
For a much better studio.
Yeah. We need boosters.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for listening, and
we'll see.
We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.